Everything finally feels safe. You've met someone who shows up when they say they will, they are kind, steady, and free of past chaos. And then, on an ordinary Tuesday evening, they send a text saying they're falling for you. But instead of joy, your stomach drops. You spend the weekend convinced they're actually too eager, or maybe just boring. You wait for them to disappoint you, and when they don't, your anxiety spikes. You start replying a little slower. You pick a fight over something completely irrelevant. From the outside, your friends might call this self-sabotage, like you are actively choosing to be miserable. But that assumes you are making a conscious choice. On the inside, you are reacting to an ancient survival reflex installed long before you had the words to question it. You are caught in an approach avoidance loop. You desperately reach out for connection, but the instant you get it, an equally powerful impulse shoves it away. Your nervous system is reading the arrival of safety, not as a reward, but as an immediate threat. To understand why your brain does this, we have to look back at the first few years of life. This is when your nervous system writes the initial code, your internal working model, for every close relationship you will ever have. Psychologists Mary Main and Judith Solomon studied environments where that code gets scrambled. They identified a scenario called fright without solution. This happens when the person a child runs to for comfort is the exact person who causes them fear. The child's biology demands they seek protection, but a parallel instinct to flee fires at the exact same time. There is nowhere safe to go. A child cannot solve that contradiction, so they simply internalize it. They carry it into adulthood as a permanent glitch, a piece of code that firmly links the desire for love with the expectation of pain. Drop that frightened blueprint into a 29-year-old navigating dating apps, and you get what attachment researchers call the disorganized, or fearful-avoidant pattern. When you meet someone chaotic, your brain knows exactly what to do. But a steady, gentle partner doesn't compute. A nervous system calibrated in an unpredictable environment views peace as highly suspicious. The consistency feels like a trap that just hasn't sprung yet. The tension of waiting for that trap to spring becomes unbearable. In a framework called relationship sabotage by researcher Raquel Peel, creating distance is actually an attempt to control the pain. If you drop the shoe yourself, you dictate the timing. You avoid the helplessness of waiting to be left. Now, it helps to distinguish this from the dismissive avoidant attachment style. A dismissive partner creates distance because they've decided they don't need closeness, and they're mostly at peace with that withdrawal. But if you have the fearful avoidant pattern, you are absolutely not at peace. You desperately want the connection you are ruining. Your urge to pull away is not a lack of caring. It is the overwhelming presence of fear sitting right on top of your love, entirely suffocating it. So let's go back to that Tuesday night. The loving text arrives, your stomach drops, and your thumb hovers over the screen, ready to pick a fight. Your first step is to pause and ask a single question. Is something actually wrong with this person right now, or am I just feeling the discomfort of safety? You have to learn to tell a genuine red flag from a false alarm. And once you name the false alarm, you have to do the hardest thing of all. You have to stay. Your body will scream that you are in grave danger. It will feel neurologically identical to standing perfectly still inside a burning building. But the building isn't on fire. And if you can keep your seat while the panic blares, you give your nervous system a new piece of evidence. You show your brain that closeness can actually exist without a catastrophe following right behind it. Understanding your past won't fix the glitch. Only the active, highly uncomfortable practice of surviving a false alarm without running away will actually rewrite your attachment code. Instead of weaponizing your panic against the relationship, you have to bring that tension somewhere it can be held. Ground yourself in your breath, or simply say out loud to your partner, "I notice I'm getting scared right now, and I have the urge to run." Early trauma deeply impacts how we handle romance years later. But a blueprint formed by painful experiences can be actively revised by safe ones. The exact same nervous system that learned love was dangerous can learn, slowly, that love is actually secure. You are patterned, not broken. The next time a relationship feels too steady and that old anxiety spikes, remember that the discomfort isn't a warning sign. It might just be the growing pain of something finally going right, and you are allowed to stay long enough to find out.